Welcome. Thank you everyone for coming. I'm so delighted to see you all here. This is great. What a fantastic turnout. I'm Becky Hoover. I'm the Vice Chair of the board here at Pat's Place, and on behalf of the entire board, I just want to welcome you all. We're thrilled to be celebrating the 10th anniversary of Pat's Place, and we're thrilled that you're all here to share that with us. Pat's Place is not this physical location, though, and it's not just the staff who work here at 901 East Boulevard. And so we certainly want to acknowledge that it is all of you that are here today attending, the partners who make this work for us, from law enforcement, the District Attorney's Office, the Department of Social Services, the Carolinas Healthcare System, and our entire community of supporters. This celebration is honoring that partnership that makes a child advocacy center such as Pat's Place work, especially in a community like Charlotte-Mecklenburg, and that commitment to work so effectively on behalf of the child victims of sexual abuse. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the staff of Pat's Place who work so hard every day on behalf of those victims and who have made this event possible. Can you guys raise your hands? All of our staff? Janet, thank you all. We're going to try and keep this brief, not for the least of all because it's about 1,000 degrees out here. But we are very, very privileged to have some of our representative partners here today to share a few moments to speak with you. First up, we'd like to hear from Dr. Mary Rogers with Carolinas Healthcare System. Dr. Rogers, there you are. Thank you. Welcome, and if you wouldn't mind just sharing some thoughts with us.
Okay. Well, I was very honored to be asked by Kathy, Chris, and Pat to come share some history with you about the program, and I'm very excited to be celebrating the 10th anniversary as well. And one thing I want to include are three special people who helped make this center possible, and just the whole movement, who are no longer with us. But I do want to include them in my little account. In 1994, Carol Robinson, who was a nurse who lost a battle with cancer last year, and I started the Pediatric Resource Center with the help of Carolinas Healthcare System. And the Pediatric Resource Center was a child maltreatment education center, and it was where we provided medical evaluations for children of child abuse, children who have been abused in the Charlotte region. And as one of the regional child maltreatment centers, we had a big obligation to teach and that sort of thing. And what we kind of realized over the first few years was we could prescribe medications, we could make recommendations about these children, we could reassure them they were doing fine, but we could not protect them, and we couldn't ensure that the recommendations we made were going to be carried out. So around this same time, and many of you may have been on the Community Child Fatality Prevention and Protection Team. It's a mouthful. Yeah, CCF, PPT. And about this time, we were evolving. We'd started in 91, 92, and we were continuing to evolve. And part of our task was to review critical issues related to children in the community, review child fatalities, and review active cases. Mainly for the systems issues, not to point fingers, but to help find systems issues that the community could improve upon. And one thing that we all came to the conclusion about was we weren't doing a very good job with coordinating care for kids in the community. And we were all trying separately, but we felt like we could do it better if we worked together. About this time, I had been to Huntsville, Alabama to tour the CAC there, and as many of you know, the CAC movement started in Alabama. And I knew that we were having smaller communities in North Carolina where this was successful. No one had really undertaken it in a community this size, and so we were a little bit scared how that was going to work. So I remember talking to Larry Ting about it, who was the executive director of the Council for Children at the time. And he said, "Murray, we just need to do this thing." And I was like, "Well, how?" "We form a steering committee and you head it." And so he kind of threw me in there, and a bunch of, you were on it. And we made it happen after many, many hours of meetings, subcommittee meetings, memorandum of understanding, and we came up with the plan, and that's making a long story short. So the one thing we didn't have was a name for the project, and we kept throwing things around, and none of it sounded good, or it sounded like it focused on one community partner versus the other. And so about that time, Pat Wolf, who was one of the advocates at Council for Children, died rather prematurely, unexpectedly. And a number of us were standing around at Pat's funeral, and I said, I think we have a name for this center now. And we all looked at each other and said, yeah, because she embodied all of those aspects. She had worked in multiple areas of child welfare. She'd worked in the courts. She worked as an advocate. She understood integrally every aspect of what our community partners do. And she'd been part of this journey of seeing this come to fruition. So we had our name. We needed space. But it's all come together, and it's been a labor of love with many, many people. So I thank you for letting me be part of this, and I'm very happy that we're at 10 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rogers. Next, we'd like to hear from Chief Kerr Putney, our police chief for Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll accept the first title. Just call me doctor. Seriously, wanted to come out and say two quick things, one of which is our mission is problem-solving partnerships and crime prevention. And we're honored to say happy birthday to Pat's Place for 10 years of being a great partner. And we don't use that term lightly. You're providing a service and a comprehensive, holistic approach to helping children who've been through some pretty serious situations. And we take our hats off to you for that. The other part of that partnership is our goal is to bring people to justice, but it's much bigger than that. We know we provide a very small part of that equation and a piece of that puzzle that is bigger than just whether or not whoever did something bad gets their day in court. It's much deeper than that. I'm honored to say our people who are part of this team, who do this within our organization for a living, are doing a great job. They really care about it. They share the commitment that Pat's Place shows to these kids. And they also spend a lot of time that we don't even compensate them for, and we appreciate that time. But they're good people. And I think I want to say, the last thing I'll say is, it's great working with partners that you can say that about. At the end of the day, you share a mission, you share a goal with them, and they're good people to work with. So thank you, happy birthday to Pat's Place, and we look forward to the next 10 years. Thank you so much.
Thank you to you, Chief Putney. Next up, we'd like to hear from Andrew Murray, who is our district attorney. So, thank you.
Well, thank you. It's really an honor to be here. I have to tell you, 5 years ago when I was elected, I had an initiative, or really a mission, to strengthen and cultivate partnerships that make us more effective. Pat's Place has been an essential and invaluable part of that mission. Their forensic interviews with skilled and trained professionals, their family support, their taped interviews that aid in charging decisions and convictions. They're helping us create a kid-friendly room in the courthouse so the kids can stay away from as much as they can the stress of why they're there and have a safe environment. Pat's Place multidisciplinary team approach consisting of law enforcement, my office, Child Protective Services, medical health workers, victim advocates, has been and continues to be a huge success. In my mind, it's a blue ribbon example of how things should be done across this nation. As a direct result of our partnership, we have become much more effective at protecting children, at preventing further victimization and undue stress, at holding perpetrators accountable for their deplorable abuse and actions, and overall at protecting this community. In large part, because of our partnership and the successes we have experienced, I decided at the beginning of this year that we were going to put an emphasis on violent crime and specifically on child sex cases to make certain that we held people accountable in a timely manner and to get closure for families and victims that deserve that. I'm pleased to inform you that we, and when I say we, I mean everyone on the multidisciplinary team, have been successful in obtaining 15 convictions in the last several months, resulting in 15 offenders receiving more than 100 years of active time. 100 years. And we still have another half a year to go. Recently, 2 of my very talented ADAs completed a 3-week marathon trial. 3 weeks. Most murder trials don't go 3 weeks. We were successful in putting a monster that had preyed upon very vulnerable preteen in jail for a very, very long time. I'm very proud of their accomplishments, and I'm proud of the efforts and the collaboration of Pat's Place and the multidisciplinary team that made this happen. Through hard work, regular meetings, and I say regular meetings, I mean weekly but not regular. You can come over here at nights, you can come over here on Saturdays and you'll see cars in this parking lot. Not regular. Long hours and very determined attitudes. Justice was served in that case and many other. And this community is a safer place to work, play, and raise children. In case you can't tell, I love my job. I really do. I love my job because I get to work and collaborate with very talented young men and women that every day pour their hearts and souls into making a positive difference in this community. To the board of Pat's Place, to the director and employees, to the medical providers, to the volunteers, and to the partners. Please accept my heartfelt thanks and admiration for a job well done. Each of you have made a positive and lifelong impact to the children that have needed your help and support. You have individually and collectively made positive difference in the lives of others. Some of you may not know that my background's military. Coast Guard, in fact. We have a phrase in the Coast Guard that when there's a job exceptionally well done, we say Bravo Zulu. To everyone associated with Pat's Place, first, keep up the good fight. Those children are counting on you. Next, Bravo Zulu. Great job. Thank you.
Thank you. So finally, but not least, we would love to hear from Peggy Egan, the Director of the Department of Social Services for Charlotte-Mecklenburg County.
Well, it's great to see you all here. And I appreciate what Dr. Rogers said, because I was one of the lucky ones who was here when we had this idea. And one of the things that I knew then and has been proven again and again is that this is a community that really cares about children. And if we can have a clear mission, we can come together. And I think you've heard today, we have the prosecutor and the police and the medical field, as well as the Department of Social Services. And the reason we work so well together is we put children first. We remember that this is one of the most traumatic times in their lives, and we have found a way to make it as least traumatic as it can be given the situation. And so I think we all deserve some credit for that, but more importantly, I think the folks who were willing to step up, create Pat's Place, and keep it running for 10 years deserve a lot of credit. It's hard to keep a nonprofit going, particularly after the past 10 years that we've had economically. And this is not a topic that people generally want to hear about. One of the things I have had the opportunity to spend some time with Kathy Ridge in the past week, and I said to her, this work will change your life. And it really will, because once you know what happens to children, what really happens to children, you can't turn away. And the fact that you're all here says you don't turn away. So thank you all and happy birthday.
Thank you, Peggy. I really appreciate all of you standing here in the heat and sharing this moment with us. I do want to make sure we acknowledge some of our other partnerships who aren't here with us today and aren't We can't go through everybody. We would be here all day and all night. But we would like to acknowledge the help of Alexander Youth Network, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Child Development and Community Policing, the Cornelius Police Department, the Davidson Police Department, the District Attorney's Office, the Guardium Ad Litem Program, the Huntersville Police Department, the Levine Children's Hospital Pediatric Resource Center, the Matthews Police Department, the Mecklenburg County Department of Social Services, the Mint Hill Police Department, the Pineville Police Department, the Safe Alliance, which was formerly United Family Services, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Board of Education, and the Thompson Child and Family Focus Group. Thank you so much for all of your work, and we look forward to the next 10 years. Our vision at Pat's Place is to eliminate child sexual abuse, and thanks to all of our partners who work towards that every day. Please stay and enjoy yourself and celebrate this milestone with us, and we look forward to the next 10 years.